We've been tried by the court of heaven and the verdict is in. We're not guilty. Yes. Because God isn't throwing us in hell, but we might be walking there ourselves. We might even be taking a party bus. Hell was not made for man, but for Lucifer, who is lonely there and calling us to join him. Join me! And man seems to be bending over backwards to do just that. And why is that? Worldly power and fame for transitory moments of opulence and the fawning of the fabulous, when all that really amounts to is another life experience, the whole of life, inseparable from a communion with God, no matter how hard we try to believe it's different. So the external could be one of opulence and celebration, but the internal won't match it anyway if we're shrouded in darkness. And the flesh and the spirit are always in conflict, so let's side with the spirit. But the devil keeps calling man to join him with fame, money, and music, and rumors of a contract with the devil for us to achieve that kind of fame in that kind of an arena. This is the stuff of legend. Remember the Crossroads and Robert Johnson, the old blues guy where he apparently sold his soul for otherworldly powers on the guitar, which brought him fame before his untimely death at the age of 27. There was even a movie about it with Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, and Steve Vai, complete with a legendary guitar dueling scene that was meant to represent Satan versus God. God won in that, but if they remade it today, it'd probably be the devil. And then we go to Led Zeppelin and their connection with Aleister Crowley. Apparently Jimmy Page was a big fan. Those strange symbols and rumors of demonic allegiance with otherworldly and even astounding music to back it up. The rumors, I mean. Then we go to the 80s. Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, Dio, Last in Line with Satan on his album cover throwing a priest in chains into a lake of fire. What could be offensive about that? Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, but that was in the 70s, same difference. I liked or even loved all of those albums. I was a kid, but the attitude I think most of us had back then was that this stuff wasn't all the way serious, that it was a kind of rebellion against squares, and we enjoyed the people who, in our view, were dumb enough to be offended by it, the religious lunatics, or so we thought. Which brings us to Sam Smith and what he's been up to lately, poking that same bear, so to speak. Get it? Is he trolling the religious, the followers of Christ, or is he truly serving Satan and reaping the rewards of massive fame and fortune? Who could really say? It evolved from the 80s as well. Marilyn Manson in the 90s and 2000s rung this bell pretty good. And Jay-Z with all those Illuminati rumors throwing up his hand signals that may or may not mean something. Again, may show a soul tie to Satan or just be a troll. But in the case of Sam Smith, troll or not, he is promoting something, and he is doing so rather intensely. And what is it that he is promoting? Drinking streams of pee in his video and having a Broadway show satanic ritual to an audience of the world. Could be seen as a troll, no doubt, but it is also Satan doing a cattle call from hell, telling the children of the earth to walk this way, because you can't really separate the two. And we call people with fame influencers for a reason, because they influence. And most young people think those of us tuned into Christ are anti-intellectual buffoons who are uptight and intolerant. That's the way we get painted in the media. Not realizing that, in effect, what many of us are just people who take the spiritual realms very seriously, and realize that even if types like Sam Smith think they are merely having a bit of fun trolling, that even if they don't take seriously what they are doing, the reality of what they are doing still lands. And as everything evolves, so does this battle between good and evil. We aren't in the 80s anymore. The soul of man is now in critical condition, and we can see that right here on this material plane, as the fallout from all this is exasperating man into a state of total chaos. The stakes are higher now, and shrouding all this under the guise of inclusion doesn't really cut it. There's a difference between tolerance and celebrating drinking piss and Satan, and it doesn't make one a square to notice that difference. Dave Grohl put out Studio 666 a year or so ago, and at the time, I remember being perplexed because I thought to myself that on one level it could be seen as a fun piss take, so to speak, of 80s metal tropes and their celebration of that number, and a thumb in the eye of those of us who took the spiritual realm seriously. Coming from a similar generation, I got the joke, but also evolving into manhood and realizing that those spiritual dimensions we took less seriously in the folly of our youth had much more reality than so-called reality itself. That in actual fact there is nothing funny about the grasp Satan has over the soul of man, and we can't stay innocent teenage punks forever. At a certain point, we all must deeply consider just what this existence on earth means, and to not notice that it is in effect a trial for our souls is to perhaps miss the point of life entirely. So was it a troll or a call to an alliance with darkness? Again, who could really say? And not to be in any way insensitive, but Taylor Hawkins, rest in peace, dying on that day, the day it came out, couldn't really be ignored either. In the very least, there must have been internal questions as to whether or not it was wise to play with those realms. At a certain point, we can't ignore the power in calling on Jesus or Satan. One could think they are trolling, but perhaps the spiritual realm lacks a certain kind of sense of humor. The rumors of and in the music industry that to really make it, one has to sell their soul and to sacrifice are legion. I never really took that stuff all that seriously, but Sam Smith's massive celebration of those forces in the days we are now in is difficult to justify as a mere troll or a celebration of inclusion, because it also undoubtedly is a signaling to the powers that be that he is in alliance to the major forces with underlying philosophies of darkness, the main power structures that are controlling popular music. It's the opposite of rebellion in these days. The denial of the legitimacy of Christ. To rebel these days would mean doing a performance celebrating Christ. And the fallout from that would tell you everything you need to know about where things are at, as the impossibility of even imagining that that could even happen already does. I mean, because Christ is actual rebellion. The devil is not. That's where we are in popular culture. The devil is mainstream and not just relegated to the sidelines of 80s hair metal. God doesn't damn anyone to hell. He resonates on the field of infinite love and forgiveness. Hell was made for Satan, and Satan alone, which Satan chose through his rebellion. God won't throw you there, nor does Satan have the power to put you there. So everything works on the fields of influence because we are powerful and have been given free will. We choose where we go, and we even choose what influences our direction. But children are particularly vulnerable, and popular music is a direct connection to them. So the biggest artists in the world celebrating drinking streams of piss in an atmosphere of abundance and opulence with all the production value money can buy in a video viewed by countless susceptible children is a problem. Because it's a cattle call to the children of the world not to take God's laws seriously. And the reason it's a problem isn't because God is going to damn you, but because they will then more possibly damn themselves, the children I mean. Satan calling out from hell to join him there. Remember, he's there alone, lonely. Fame and money ain't worth the states of our souls in eternity, and to pretend like this life doesn't have real stakes attached to it in these realms against the backdrop of what is happening in our world in 2023 is becoming more and more ridiculous to pretend. In my view, we shouldn't envy Sam Smith's success, but rather pray he makes it out of the trap. At least that's what he's showing us lately. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell me if you think I got all this wrong. That's really just what I think. And, you know, I don't know. It's interesting. We live in strange and interesting times. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.